Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a very pleasant night to you, my precious pack, and welcome back once more to Vega Conflict. And you know what day it is. It's time to cover new vessels as they drop in the game. That's right. We're going to actually manage to cover one again. And as you can tell from the background, we're going to be talking about the brand new carrier, and that is the Anvil carrier. I'm going to do a quick once-over of the stats of it, the squadrons, and the special, well, not really the special, the experimental salvage that dropped with it. Share a few of my thoughts, and then more or less let you get on with your farming, because I'll farm up a little bit later on, because I'm also taking on the World of Tanks thing. But let's get right into it. Repair time, 2 hours flat. Standard. Health, 450,000 hit points at Mark 1. Unladen mass, well, not real unladen mass. The maximum mass is 20,000 tons. If not mistaken, the unladen is like 6,000 tons. Support field. It has a field operating base, which I actually do like. I don't like the range on it, however, with a support range of only 8,000 meters, cargo of 3,500,000 tons, forward speed of 450 meters per second, a sector speed of 600 astronomical units per hour, rotation speed of 35 degrees per second, and a strafe speed of 200 meters per second. Now, damage-wise and modifier-wise and everything like that, let's just go right from the top to the bottom, and just like before, I'm going to point out one little bug. Liberatus damage, it gets a 50% increase. Spec damage, a 50% increase. Astral Barony damage, 50%. As long as you keep making these mistakes, I'm going to keep cashing them. I'm going to keep poking fun at them, because it's just... How do you screw that up? You go 1 damage bonus, 2 damage bonuses. On the third one, you forget the little tiny plus sign right in front of it. Hanger weapon mass, minus 40%. So it's a 40% reduction in anything you put in the hangars. An armor mass reduction of 45%, nice and hefty. A shield mass reduction of 40%, yet again another hefty one. So it's coming stock with pretty good ones right off the bat. Resurgence of 20%, that's typical across the board for just about everything that isn't a Marauder. Shield recharge rate, doesn't matter because it's got a shield delay of 5 seconds. Then again, with a carrier, you shouldn't really be getting hit in the first place, because they should be on the outer edge of combat in the first place, where you can make the best use of it. And just like every other one, its shield can recharge when it's depleted, and it has Astral Barony resistance of 30%. Onto the resistances. It has no natural resistance, unlike each of the other vessels we've had so far, and it has a 30% Spectre resistance, and it has the same Nebula resistance we've seen over and over again at this point. As for the field, this is where the real fun kicks in. Again, it is an 8,000 meter effective range. And what it provides is a 25% armor increase and a 25% shield increase. That's to the rest of the fleet. Now, I both like that, and oh wait, hold on a second. Anybody else see the bug? That's 2 of them. 2 of them, I almost went over that one without even noticing it. According to that, you're losing 75% of your armor. Oh, man, they just take a little bit more time with the coding, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have to say. But I both love it and hate it, because at the same time, it'll increase our effective armor values, which means that technically we'll be taking less repair time, because some of the damage we'll be taking will be magical damage, and we won't actually be taking it. But here's the problem I see with that. With how many bugs are actually in the game on the live server, I don't actually trust that, and I'd rather actually see a positive value of, you're going to love this, a purple bar attached to the health bar, and a purple bar attached to the energy bar, to the shield bar specifically, and before it ever touches your normal vessel, the normal hit points, the normal shielding, I would have just liked to see it be a buffer. So they have to go through that before they actually start damaging your vessel. So yes, it would technically lead to invincible vessels or super low repair times. But I don't really care at this point of the game's health. I just want to have a little bit of fun. Now, with all of those covered, we're going to cover the squadrons next. Level 1 first, as well as its little debilitate ability. So right off the bat, pardon me, right off the bat, we have an explosive damage per second of 20,000 damage per second. It weighs 3,000 tons, it flies for 30 seconds, has a scramble range of 9,000 meters, and has a flight speed of 3,000 meters. She'll have about 27 seconds of effective combat time before it actually returns or is destroyed. It has 200,000 hit points. Now as for debilitate, it can debilitate a target by 10% for 5 seconds. Now naturally, debilitate doesn't stack, so you're not going to be able to just be like, oh hey look, 60% damage increase. No, it's just one application of it, and that's it. Okay, on to the level 2. Only a 10% damage increase, which is odd. Well, over 10%, it's a 20... actually, no, I'm not even going to try and calculate it right now because I'm way too tired for this. Mass comes in at 3,715 tons. It has the exact same flight time, exact same scramble range, same flight speed, and only has a 25,000 hit point increase. So it's not that much more healthy. So if you're expecting it to be a monster compared to the level 1, no, not really. As for the debilitate, well, it gets a 5% increase over the application. But again, it's still locked at the 5-second thing, so yeah. You'll make them a little bit more vulnerable to damage, but that's about it. Now there's only one more thing to go over, and that is the repurposed squadrons. It weighs 0% ship mass, so I don't know why they keep that there in the first place, because it just... Seeing a stat that says 0 doesn't really seem relevant to have there at all. But it applies to squadrons and drones. It increases the damage per shot by 50%. Now I read that and I thought, if I were to look at another one, specifically unstable power cells, you have a 50% damage increase per shot. So I thought to myself, I wonder if we were allowed to stack them on them or not, but then again I'll find out later today, so won't have to wonder too long. You have a 50% armor health increase. Okay. And here's the negative effect. It's called slow recharge, which makes no sense because they're not recharging, they're fighters. They're being rearmed and launched again. And what it is though able to launch well-equipped squadrons into battle, it takes time to resupply the next wave or reload. When 6 of any equipped drones are destroyed or returned, the reload speed of the squadrons is increased for 10 seconds. And that value is a weapon cooldown of 500%. Yeah, for 10 seconds. I don't think anyone will need to use repurposed squadrons because they're squadrons. Does everyone remember the problem we keep having with squadrons of them just being... You snap your finger and they're just dead. That's due to inadequate AI pathing, how they interact with the environment, and how they interact more specifically with projectiles that are in flight. So... yeah, I'm not a fan of the whole carrier thing, and I mean, I don't really use them at all. But it doesn't mean I don't have some thoughts on them, specifically the tech and the bugs and whatnot. So, I'll be a little bit quick here because I think I want to try and keep this one as close to 10 minutes as possible. So, what do I think of the carrier? Appearance-wise, it reminded me of a frigate from the Halo series. As funny as that might sound. Health-wise, I thought it was okay. The main thing that I, again, had a I can see it being beneficial and negative at the same time was the field operating base support field, specifically for that 25% increase of both armor mass and shield strength. It just, not being able to see an active value in combat, we don't know if it's actually working or not unless you actually take the time to calculate out how much damage you're taking per fight and whatnot like that. But for someone like me, I'm not doing that in the first place, because I'm autoing just about everything, because I'm not going to be flying for myself when I have to hit several hundred targets to upgrade something. I've been keeping my RI farming and everything like that to a bare minimum this entire time. Basically just for Dreadnought. It's just, I get the stuff for the Dreadnought, that's about it. So, yeah, I think I've taken up enough of your time now, everybody. Go ahead, hop in the game if you want to farm for it, if you think you can. Try and get the pre-fit, because it'll help you, as always. Other than that, I don't have any suggestions for fittings or anything like that, because I'll have to test it out myself after I get my filthy little hands all over it. But, for now, be safe out there, happy hunting, and as always, I'll see you later on.